For this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to convert your paper test to Blackboard. Majority of the time, your Word document tests look something very similar to this, where it's properly and nicely formatted. The answer to your exam is in bold. However, if you have tried to upload something very similar to this to Blackboard, you would notice that the formatting is not proper and Blackboard will not be able to read it. So instead of manually going into Blackboard test, surveys, and pools and creating a manual test where you create individual questions and answer choices, I'm going to show you how to create a test using a test generator specifically for Blackboard. The test generator that I would strongly recommend is called the Oklahoma Christian University Blackboard Test Generator. Here you will paste your question and answer choices in this box right here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to copy all of the exam here. And in this particular example, I have a total of 6 questions. As you can see, the formatting has completely changed, and my answer choices, or my correct answers, are no longer bold. The first step we need to do is separate each individual question. The next thing we need to do is select which answers are correct. Instead of bolding the correct answer, we are instead going to go and put an asterisk or a star next to the correct answer. For this question is a true and false question. The reason why I placed it like this instead of an actual true and false is because of the Create Sample Question section. This sample question will only allow multiple choice questions. If you would like to do a set of just true-false questions, you can select true-false questions. But due to time restrictions, I'm only going to be doing multiple choice questions. Since I have finished and I have separated each individual question, I'm going to click Generate Test Questions. All of the test questions have been generated. I know this because of the green background. If there are some questions or all the questions would not get generated, it would have a red background. Once I have finished, I'm going to click Download Test Questions. You can see that my Blackboard quiz .txt has been downloaded. I'm now going to go into the course where I want to deploy my test. I'm going to the Assessments tab. I'm going to click Tests. I'm going to click Create New Test. I'm going to give it a name. Then I'm going to click Submit. Here you have 3 choices. You can create a question where you can create your essay, your true-false, your multiple choice, and multiple answer. You can reuse a question, so from a question that's already been set, or if you're in your pools area, or you can upload a question. For this example, I'm going to upload my questions. I'm going to click Browse. And here is my Blackboard quiz txt file. As you can see, it has been completely formatted differently than what it would previously look like in our Word document. I'm going to click Open. The Blackboard quiz txt file has been uploaded. And here you can enter the amount per question. By default, it is 10 points per question. You can do this, you can edit this any way you like, where you can have 1 point, 2 points, 100 points per question, however you would like. Once you have finished, click Submit. All of the answers and choices have been uploaded to Blackboard. Once we finish, click OK. Find the test that we just submitted or created and click Submit. Make available to students, click Yes. If you click No and the display until appears, let's say your display until happens to be on the 31st of March at 11:10 a.m. If you click No, even after this date has appeared, students will still not be able to take the test. You must make it available to students first, and then you can put your display after and display until. Multiple attempts. Given that everyone is now forced to take online courses, we at AINE would like to encourage you to consider using more than one attempt, mostly because internet does go out, broadband issues. Once again, this is not a requirement, it's just something that we'd like for you to consider. You can set your timer. Since this is only 6 questions, I'm going to give my students 30 minutes to complete the exam. For test availability, in this section for add users or groups is when you can extend the time per student, in case you have a student who has disabilities and needs extended amount of time. You're going to click add users or groups, then you're going to find your student who needs to have time extended. In this particular case, we're going to use jfarmer6, Jonathan Farmer. This is my other Blackboard account. I'm going to click Submit. And I'm going to give myself 60 minutes to complete this exam. Usually, when you're dealing with a student from DSS or student with disabilities, most of the time you're giving your students double the amount of time. So instead of 30 minutes, in this particular case, it's going to be 60 minutes. Your due date is usually going to be the same time as display until. By default, the self-assessment options include this test, and the grade center score calculations is always checked. If this is not checked, the test will not appear in the grade center. Submission. You can show the incorrect answers when this box is checked. You can show all of the answers when this box is checked. Correct answers, submitted answers. Test presentation. You can do all at once, meaning that all of the questions will be on one page, or you can do one at a time, where one question will be on one page and then they have to go to the next page. For accessibility purposes, we ask that you use all at once feature. You can also randomize the question if you choose. Once you finish setting up your test and test options, click Submit. This has been a quick demonstration of converting your tests to Blackboard.